A very good morning to all of you X-Road fans, and of course, including myself. But today, I'm actually wearing two different hats, I would say. So my name is Anette Numa, and I will be also your host today, the entire event. And I'm so happy to welcome you at the X-Road Community Event 2023. I would actually call this event as a global gathering of innovation and also collaboration. I think these are the main two words that I would use when I would have to describe this event today. But let me fill in the magic that has been happening already since 2018. Nice has been orchestrating these incredible gatherings that are, I would say, also a magnet for brilliant ideas and passionate community members hailing from around 90 countries. And you heard it right, 90 countries that we have like participants from 90 countries already. And guess what? I would say our little event has grown into very big thing because I could jump back to the time and try to remember when it all started with just a handful of developers discussing X-Road related wonders. And fast forward to today, we got around 500 X-Road fanatics joining us online today, which is a very, very big number. So from the bottom of our X-Road loving hearts, we want to say a massive, massive thank you to all of you, every and each one of you who have joined us today and participating in this event and has made it happen today as well. Now let's talk about the hotline of topics that we're going to discuss here today. Of course, we are going to talk about the current situation of the X-Road, what is also in the agenda for the next few years, and what might the longer future look like also for the X-Road. I have always pointed out when I have been visiting different countries around the world and introducing Estonian success story in e-governance sector that actually the X-Road system is kind of like I would say the cornerstone or the backbone for entire success story of Estonia, because this has made it also very, very easy to exchange information between different portals here. But when it comes to the solution that Nice is providing, I think this is especially unique because it also makes it possible so that we can do cross-border collaboration and exchange information also on a cross-border level, because people, again, live in one side of the world and the other side of the world, and we already have collaboration through Nice with countries like Estonia, Finland, Iceland, also partnership with Faroe Island, and also the government of Ireland. So I would say Nice is really a unique platform so that we can make a very good collaboration also on a cross-border level when it comes to the data exchange platforms. But I wouldn't waste too much of a time doing introduction here and actually get to our experts here. So without further ado, let's dive into the X-Road awesomeness, if I may say so. And kick the day off, I will actually be very happy to welcome on the stage here the CEO of Nice, Mr. Ville Sirviö. Hi, Ville. I actually have already a couple of questions that I want to ask from you.
Great.
I mean, when you talk about the Nice and the history of Nice, you started already in 2017. We don't have too much of a time for the opening questions, but if you could point out, I would say around two things. What has changed the most in this time?
Yeah, a few things would have changed. If I try to put it into just two things. First of all, with X-Road, we have seen a great development in X-Road as a product. X-Road used to be a solution for almost 20 years when Nice started, so we came into this game quite late. But I would say that the technical development of X-Road and the steps we have taken with X-Road, that has been one big change if looking from Nice, like internal view into X-Road. Another thing what has changed a lot is everything surrounding us. And if we think about the original mission of X-Road, it's already 20 years old, how that solution was born. And it has been changing all the time. And I think we have seen more and more change in interoperability in data exchange and everything related to data and everything related to digital in Europe. And this is probably the biggest change. And actually my presentation today is going to deep dive into that, so I'm not going to explain it further.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's probably the biggest change we have been witnessing around us. And of course, X-Road as a product has to adapt into it.
We're going to see a lot of different presentations today also about the future, but if you may give us a little bit of a glimpse of the future, what are you most excited about the future, or how do you see the future going when it comes to the Nice solution?
Yeah, this also goes a little bit into my presentation topics, but what I'm most fascinated about in the future and into the current developments as well, I think what Europe is doing together as a whole, it's a big thing. I mean, we have been increasingly looking into common building blocks and solutions in Europe, but we have also been thinking about the global interoperability. How can Europe be a location where it's good for companies to run their business, how it is a good place for people, citizens, everyone to trust the governments, trust that everything is handled properly. Everything what comes to data and what comes to digital, it has been increasingly European development and global development. Yeah. And this is something which is really fascinating because it's not only working alone in your own corner, but it's rather collaborating with other nations, with other organizations. That's the most fascinating part, yeah.
I fully agree with you. And when it comes to also, I would say, the free movement of people across the borders, I've been always saying that, why do we even have this if our data is actually not moving with us? So I feel like the job that you're doing is really, really fantastic because it also provides us that our data is coming with us if I move to the next country. Yeah. And when it comes to Europe, I think we could be a very good case study also. How does it work when it comes to that all kind of countries in Europe could also exchange their information. So, I mean, very well done, and I'm super excited to hear today about all these kind of changes that are coming and your crazy ideas. We're going to have a lot of time to discuss about different things, and you're going to also give us a presentation. But I will actually let you to go from the stage for a second, and I will ask you to be back here in a second.
Let's do so.
Because we also do have some organizational remarks as well. I think most of you already, when you have attended events that have been organized by either Estonian companies or Estonia, and now also but a lot of also other countries, you have used the application called the X-Road, where our entire platform is working today. There is a lot of stuff that you can actually do there. You can follow our agenda. You can see all kind of different speakers, the topics of their keynotes as well. One very cool thing that you can also do there is that you can ask questions from our speakers. So there is a Q&A section there. You can also click on the details part and see a little bit more about the background of this speaker, this expert. And when you do the Q&A as well, there is a chance if you don't come up with the questions that you want to ask from yourself, then you can also easily upvote some of the questions that you really want to be asked when I will be also asking this question from our experts today. So yes, on the screen you can easily see that's how this voting is actually working. And then of course also you can talk to different other participants. If you look it up in the right corner, there is also the number of participants, then also there is different people down there participant side, so that you can click on this and also see who else are listening to our wonderful event today, our conference here. So you can click there and also say hi to people that you want to talk to, and maybe also make connections, because I think there is a lot that we can also discuss later on with different other participants as well. And then, of course, we also have tasks for you here. We like to also give a little different task as well. So we have already prepared one of the tasks. If you click there, the task, then we have asked you one question already. Have you heard about the data spaces before? A very simple question, yes or no, or maybe you don't remember. So you can click on this as well, and I will come back also with the answers so that we can see what is actually the statistics of this, how many people have been hearing about already these spaces, the data spaces before, and then you can click your answer there as well. But again, that it wouldn't be too much of me here in the stage, and we could actually give the stage for the experts. I'm very, very excited to ask once again Ville Sirvio to come back here on the stage, and we will hear his keynote. And the topic you can also hear read from there. It's from a digital derby of nations to a digital Europe, the X-Road and the future of data ecosystem. So pretty much the glimpse that Ville was answering to me. We will hear a little more about this as well. And then don't forget to ask questions for him, because I will join him also. And then I can also ask a couple of questions from him later as well. So without further ado, I'm very happy to welcome again Ville Sirvio, the CEO of NICE, here on the stage.